So in the last video, we concluded the setup of the user and also of the APIs. And let's just add that on Git. So let's say Git commit message setup user. And now the change that we did in the other videos were added. Now, so let's test our API. So for this, we are going to use Postman. We also do for the first year in testing the browser. But for example, for Postman, we have to install Postman, and we are going to test some endpoints. And I create a folder, a new collection here. I don't need to do this because already create 1 year. And after this, I can add a new request, but I want to add a folder. It's going to be named users, but this is for testing. So first, let's try to run our server. And there is a somewhere. Okay, this looks like come from the settings. Okay, I forgot to add here comma, and I think you also to remove this. So it's only REST framework simple GWT. And our server is running right now. So let's see how it looks on our browser. Let me see if the Postman and I added something else. So I want to add a new folder. It's going to name users, and here I want to create a new request, add a request. It's going to be create user, and going to be a post, but we are going to do that a little bit later. So now we have to go to our authentication URLs that you can see there already here. So it's going to be API v1 out, and it's going to redirect here, and this is the URL to create a user. So to see the endpoints, and this is going to be the endpoints that we are going to use. We are here in the base endpoints. The default URL for the user creates going to be our normal URL, which is here, our base URL, and the path is going to be users. So this URL requires some fields that are here, for example, username fields, password, and all passwords. And there is a lot of endpoints that you can use. We are going to use some, and you can see for it here for them for more detail. So let's do a quick test. Usually it takes some time. Connection maybe. Very good. Okay, this may be error due to the email configuration because we haven't yet configure the email where you're going to send the email confirmation password, register confirmation. So What I propose is to first, let's go do that. So for this, we are going to use Mailtrap, and Mailtrap is going to be web software that's going to help us to intercept and intercept emails. So we have to create an account here. For example, when you send emails, you are going to receive it in the email testing zone in the inbox. So for this, you just have to register on Mailtrap. After you go to inbox, add inbox. So let's say that uh, inbox test. We add our inbox test, we click inbox, we come here. In the integrations, we are going to Python Django. Here, we have to copy this. We are going to use these as environment variables. So we put here, and don't forget to remove the space. And also this. Okay, and now what you have to do is come here into settings and add that environment variables and more. Okay, and now I just finished to write the configurations of the email that we need. The settings, as you can see, I put that right below the user configuration. So we have here the email backend that we are going to retrieve from Django core mail backends and SMTP email backend, capital letters. Email host going to be our environment variable. We set up here. The email used alias, we have to put this equal to true. The port, we also have this in our environment variables. The email user and password also. The default from the email, it's going to be how it's going to appear in the email message. So I put here info journalbullet.com, the site name journal bullet, and also very important, this is essential, crucial even for our integration with React in after for the front end. So we here I add domain localhost 5173 because this is going to be our URL for the front end, and this line, what basically it's indicating, it's we want for the email confirmation. For example, if we have a confirmation and we have a redirect link, the redirect link is not going to go for the server, the 8000, but for our localhost 5173 for the front end domain. Okay, so let's do this. So first, here in Postman, what we want, it's going to test this URL. So for this, you are going to headers, authorization, yes, headers. Let's paste here content type. Application.json. Yes, and now for the body, you want to use raw, and let's populate this. So, okay, and now I just populate our body for the request. So we are going to actually, the fields are going to be that ones: email, first name, last name, password, and the password is like the confirmation. If you remember from user, we set user create password retype true, so we need to also input this field. So I create here random name, random email. So let's go into test post request. Let me make sure that this is the server it's running. Okay, let's send. And if everything is okay, we should get a 201 response. Okay, but there is a error here. So let me see where it comes from. Hmm. Okay, let me see where it comes from, and I come right back. Okay, I just restarted the server, and for some reason, it started to work. As you can see, I created here some sample users. But let's do that again. Here it's actually the same post 127. We have to add another email. So let's go add a new Freddy Saturn. It's going to be Freddy Saturn twice because the email is unique. We cannot pass two email uniques. And as you can see, that last one was created, and if you create here for user Fred Saturn, we mail Freddy Saturn, but we can also test, for example, here in our API in the browser. So let's say fancies, say email, and here okay, let's say posts, and here we are supposed to be creating a user, and there is 201 created, and this is our new user. And if you come here, you can see that the users were added. And in Mailtrap, as you can see, this is we are intersetting the email that is that has been sent from our backend. So this is the message. Actually, you can personalize that. And this is what we do. This is going to be the page for the activation link. But if you click here, it's going to appear nothing because we haven't set up our front end yet. So there is no URL to go to that page. As you can see here, the domain 5173, it was the one that we set up here. If we haven't done that, it will be localhost 8000, and it will not be our front end URL, which is what we don't like. We want that one. Next, so let's test the others URLs endpoints. So we come here, we can already save that one. We come here, we add a new request, login user. So for that endpoint, what we want is this. We are going to here, we have user activate, user, this is to the user. And it's that one, it's that one, GWT create. So we come here, we get this, GWT, and this is also to slash. This is also going to be a post request, headers, content type, JSON. From here in the body, you want to pass the login. So it's going to be the email, and the password. So if we come here and if we post these requests, we click to send, no activate. Okay, we have to activate our account first to be able to log in. It is good because you also have to create these requests. So first let's do that one, add a request, going to be hot users, that one. You can see the request for the activation, going to be in the base endpoint in the documentation. And user activate, so it's going to be this. You copy, you come here, oh, beyond. I don't know if you have to use that or not. Let me just check. Yeah, that's correct. So out users activation type. You want this to be JSON. Okay, so for the activation link, we have to pass now the, as you can see, user activate. We have to pass a YD and the token in the post request. So for the last user that you create, the ID Saturn, receive this that going to be the URL to activate our account, but since you haven't set up the front end, we're going to activate it with Postman. So this is the YD, and this in the front slash, it's the token. So from here, we create any request that are already created, where we are going to have the YD and the token. So our is a post request. This is our endpoint. So for this, we put here the ID and here the token. We send. Wait some time. Okay, I got to some error. I restart the server and I use another activation link for previous user that you have created, which was that one for gmail.com. As you can see, the account is now active, and so now we can use that one for the login. So and after this, you have here your account has been successfully created and activated. Now we can log in now. So for the login, we come here. That one is also already activated. So just can do this. And yes, using the login, we get two things: the refresh and the access token. And this is the tokens that are going to be used for the login authentication. So this endpoint going to be name activate user account, activate user account, and next one. Okay, so now I just finished to set up the other two requests that we have to make. That is the password reset request and the password reset confirm. So for this, we have to, I still haven't put here the URL. It's good, so that way we can see. Okay, contact type, we're going to change this to JSON. For that one, We also want to change this to a post request JSON. JSON. Yeah, this is about it what you have to do. But first, let's make our request. So let's come here to our endpoint, set password, reset password. It's going to be this the URL. Going to be here, alt user. Let's copy this. Okay, it is a push request. So now the email, we can use that one that you have created. Ready Saturn. Is the parameters that we have to pass in that post. Let's send and let's hope for the best. Okay, the request was accepted. We have here 204 content, which is what we want. So if you come here to intercept the message, and you can see that we have the password reset offer link, and this is going to be the YD for, and this is going to be the token for reset confirm password. So if you click in this link, we don't have anything set up in the front end, so it's going to lead to nothing. But now we can use this to reset our password. So same logic than before. We copy the YD, with the YD we copy put the token, we put a new password, going to be password 123456, long 123456. Do the same for the other fields, and let's send that post request. And yes, we get the response 204. So in principle, our password was successfully reset. And as you can see in the email, it says that our password was successfully reset. So if you come here, you put here on pass on 23456, we take out the 7. We should, for example, if we put a wrong password, we should get here F401 unauthorized. But if we give the good credentials, we should get the access, the refresh token. And there is it. So that's it, guys. The backend authentication is now set up. We have done everything that we had to do. We have set up the user. We have set up the URLs. Now, in the future, we are going to set up the front-end authentication. We are going to use that URLs only with Redux, so we can create like a user authentication state, and that we can authenticate a login in our front end. So for the backend, that's mostly it. So now we are going to focus in the next video on the front end. So again, if you enjoy the video and you think it was useful, like, enjoy, subscribe, and see you in the next video.